Right now, with COVID-19 keeping us quarantined, we are all looking for ways to stay healthy. But from our homes, of course. Pseudoscience and holistic medicine communities always have some quick fix remedy. Then Karen comes along with her essential oil cures, and it becomes apparent more than ever that we need to raise more awareness of the dangers of these companies, especially during a universal epidemic. But what if one of our main strategies to fight these companies and their abhorrent business practices is not the actual answer? Hello everyone, my name is Beth, or Queen of Spade. How are you doing on this fine morning? I hope you are doing well. Please like and subscribe, do your thing. Now, without further ado, let's throw some spade. Today, we are going to discuss why filing lawsuits against MLM companies may not actually do what we all had hoped. Let's take a look at an amazing article I found explaining this. And I promise you I'm not on wine when I did it. I promise, okay? So everyone, before we get started here, I just wanted to let you know that I did open up a Patreon. It will help me get a new microphone since apparently my voice is pissing so many people off. So please do come and join. I've already posted some things in there, so I promise it won't be that boring. And also, please know that I do have a Facebook page. You can come and check it out. Send me things on there that you want me to cover. Just don't come and give me a bad review, okay? I have people coming and giving me bad reviews right now to say that I lie about things, and I don't know what I'm lying about MLMs. I don't know what I'm lying about with that. So please do come, join the page, and give me a good review or something, okay? Because MLMs suck. The importance and futility of class action lawsuits against MLMs. This is Pyramid Scheme Alert. It is one of my favorite places to read up on the things going on, and also author Robert L. Fitzpatrick is an amazing person to look into if you are interested in the sociology of pyramid schemes, multi-level marketing, bad business practices, etc. Highly recommend. Recently, yet another class action lawsuit has been filed against a multi-level marketing company, in this instance, Young Living Essential Oils. This Utah-based MLM company, are they all in Utah? Yes, most are. I actually cover that in one of my episodes of the manipulation of a humbot, so you can go check that out. So this Utah-based MLM company is a digital reproduction of so many other MLMs that are themselves copies of earlier ones, all leading back to the seminal scam known as Neutralite. Exactly. Like the proverbial mousetrap, MLM has not been significantly changed or improved as a financial trap since its invention. It has only duplicated and geographically expanded. And yes, we hate it here when they expand. With its utopian promise of wealth and happiness, pseudoscience, health products, concocted stories of visionary founders, pious claims to high ethics and global mission, it appears as enticing and beneficial to human victims around the world as the cheese-loaded mousetrap does to Vegeta's mouse. Reflecting the reality that MLMs are all alike, identical in essence and in consequences, MLM class action lawsuits are worded and outlined very similarly. You may notice that as we continue on to cover them. They might qualify as a subset of journalistic nonfiction literature. Characters in these stories include the villainous MLM companies factually described as disguised pyramid schemes. And yes, here on this channel, I do say that MLMs are pyramid schemes with the loophole of having a product. The schemes are led by charlatan founders, often with backgrounds in other MLMs. Many, it seems, have worked in Amway. Isn't that true, though? Or in stock market scams, or phony health remedies, like the lovely pseudoscience holistic medicine. Sometimes figures from the scheme's inner circle are also named as cunning henchmen. Then there are a few victims in each class action suit whose names are publicly associated with the lawsuit, but whose personal histories and circumstances are sparingly described. This is not because they are undeserving of respect and understanding, but because the range of people affected by MLM is universal. That's why it's so important that we raise awareness about the harms of these companies. Virtually every type of person is a mark. Again, no one is safe. As this recent suit states, plaintiffs' claims are typical in that each was unsuspectingly induced to join the pyramid scheme. Dun dun dun! Being deceived is the only common factor among the universe of MLM victims. This is because virtually everyone is vulnerable to MLM's brand of treachery. First, MLM makes a mesmerizing, though utterly false, promise to meet real financial needs that virtually everyone faces. Exactly. It then insinuates association with universally treasured values and beliefs, such as faith, family, entrepreneurship, patriotism, feminism, servant leadership, the American dream, and personal freedom. Finally, and equally important to its nefarious power, MLM employs the same tools to persuade, manipulate, and control recruits that are used by Elmer Gantry-type preachers, dictators, and experts in propaganda. And that's really true. Like, everything to do with MLM marketing is really just propaganda, right? No one is truly immune to this dangerous weaponry, especially since it is treated as legitimate by corrupted regulators. These tools include dividing the world into binary realms, one heavenly and enlightened, winners/believers, and the other evil and ignorant, quitters and doubters, vilifying non-believers or defectors, losers, dream stealers, controlling information, always ask your upline, never critics, outsiders, or the media. Dominating people's times, meetings, recruiting, phoning, websites, audios, claiming moral authority and piety, church, mission, charities, separating people from non-participating friends and family, get rid of anyone that does not support, imposing a mystifying proprietary vocabulary, downline, diamonds, PV points, ambassadors, flushing, compression, claiming mystical powers, infinite expansion, unlimited income, promising utopia and threatening hell. Wealth beyond your imagination that is equated with human happiness and fulfillment, and lack of wealth as total failure, shameful, wasted life, despair. Degrading critical thinking, believe, and employing confusing and mystifying structures and baffling explanations, corporate labyrinths, and incomprehensible pay formulas. MLM class action lawsuits are important for publicly asserting and itemizing the verifiable facts of MLM's pyramid scheme structure and detailing its methodologies of deception, cultism, and manipulation, and the devastating financial and social consequences. And that is why a lot of us also do these channels, have our Instagram pages, spread awareness, etc. They offer this vital information in readable, publicly available documents not found elsewhere other than a rare government prosecution. The suits therefore serve as an important educational sources for affected consumers and as historical references for anyone seeking the truth, like all of you. Academia and the news media have access to exactly the same facts as the plaintiffs' attorneys who write these class action documents, but in those respected fields, plainly stating or even pursuing the terrible truth about MLM is considered career killing. Well, that's a little intense. Anyway, unquestioningly, the lawsuits are valuable as a last defensive measure against mass fraud and as frontline truth tellers. Beyond that, educational and symbolic service and its annoyance and cost to the MLMs. However, there is little to recommend the class action suit against MLMs. In the big picture, they are futile. Here's why. By implication and sometimes explicitly stated as part of the case, the suits uphold the conventional falsehood that, while the MLM defendant in the case is characterized as a calculated scam and a racket, its wrongdoing is depicted as a contradiction of the MLM model, which is characterized as legitimate. Consumers are therefore merely redirected away from one mousetrap, possibly to another with different cheese. Before going to trial, MLM class action lawsuits are almost always settled. That's true. No real or useful change occurs. Money is paid, a pittance in the scheme of things. The schemes admit no wrongdoing. Those consumers covered in the settlement surrender rights to make further claims. An impression is cultivated of closure, remedy, even an improved MLM business, which is actually a strengthening of the trap and an update of the quality of cheese, like we eat some Gouda now. This largely meaningless, except to the attorneys and the MLM scheme itself, outcome is dictated by the class action model. The lawsuits are part of the business of lawyering. They are entrepreneurial ventures. Most cases are well-intentioned, but outcome scenarios are determined by the business model, not aspirations. The costs of pursuing the cases are significant, highly risky, and the time frame can be measured in years or decades. The settlements constitute an exchange of commercial value, a business transaction within the lawyer industry, not necessarily an expression of justice. The attorneys are compensated for their time with a handsome profit, if successful, or suffer a big loss if not. Either way, the defendant MLM gets back to the MLM business, since the case never argued that MLM is illegal or inherently deceptive. The victims are thrown some financial crumbs. There is usually some empty rhetoric of free form. Federal regulators are not disturbed from their blissful and well-paid sleep. It is unlikely the suits serve as any deterrent whatsoever, since MLMs cannot reform or fundamentally change without destroying their money-generating capacity, which is entirely based on deception. What is described as wrongdoing and harmful actions in the lawsuits is merely the classic structure and behavior of the MLM model and all enterprises that utilize it. And of course, that is one of the main issues. Battling class action lawsuits is therefore viewed by MLMs as merely a cost of doing business, not an existential threat. To view the MLM class action lawsuits as significant forces of change, as justice, or even practical consumer protection measures requires a delusional segmenting of reality. And here is kind of the sad part, because I do know that a lot of us in the anti-MLM community, whenever one of these companies gets sued, we do kind of take it as a win. We say, oh yay, maybe they'll change. However, it appears we need to be doing more. First, the ineffectual outcomes of past cases must be forgotten. Then, a blind faith in the legal system to protect the public and address wrongdoing is maintained, while the corrupt inaction of law enforcement is ignored or tolerated. And this is why we cannot ignore or tolerate this anymore. An inescapable question looms over any reading of these MLM class action documents. If all of this, or even some of it, is true, why aren't the police, the FBI, or at least the FTC interested? In fact, MLM class action lawsuits on their own, and despite their facts, analysis, or even settlements involving payments to victims, do not provoke any interest or action from the SEC, FTC, or FBI in recent years. Even in the rare case of government prosecution, the wrongdoing is classified merely as unfair and deceptive business, not criminal fraud, and we do need to change that. It is like calling 911 to report that your home has just been robbed by a serial burglar who is well known to the police, and the break-in was clearly witnessed by multiple neighbors, and you are advised to hang up and contact a lawyer. As non-fiction literature, I have observed a few interesting developments in the MLM class action suit genre. Me as well, my man. The aspect of cultism and references to the defendant MLMs as engaging in racketeering are more common and better detailed now. Thankfully, also, perhaps in recognition of the limited impact that even the plaintiff's attorney know the suit will have, an element of ironic humor is slyly introduced. And yeah, we have a lot of fun with that here, right? Noting multiple outrageous deceptions and laughable absurdities in reference to claims and narratives of the MLM Young Living Essential Oils, the lawsuit's attorney authors inserted this wry notion. This looks like fun. According to Mr. Young's company founder biography, While working as a logger in the state of Washington, Mr. Young was struck by a falling tree, which resulted in a fractured skull, ruptured spinal cord, and 19 broken bones. After being told he would never walk again, Mr. Young claims to have healed himself through a 252-day dietary regimen of nothing but water and lemon juice. By comparison, the medicinal qualities and potential for financial rewards ascribed to essential oils by Young Living are not nearly as believable. I hope this video has helped explain why lawsuits against MLMs may not be the true way to fight against them. Our anti-MLM community needs to make some changes within Parliament and within the laws. We need to make it a criminal offense to run these companies. Then the lawsuits will have more effect on the companies themselves, especially in a time when they are using this virus to profit. We also need to keep on educating the public and spreading awareness. So, I'm going to end this video there. Follow me on Instagram if you want to help join the fight against these companies. Links, including the link to this article, will be in the description down below. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, I hope that you all have a fabulous, fabulous day. Stay home and stay healthy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!